YouTube, Dark Magician of Team Sorcerers here, and welcome to one of our first videos of 2024. So yeah, I know it's been a while, so here we are with more content, and I thought I'd do another interesting discussion, and that's regarding sort of unpreferred ways of winning. I mean, I feel like hated ways is sort of a strong word for this scenario, but yeah, it is what it is. Now, I did do something similar last year. I did a video discussing hate losing, or the way you lose. If you haven't seen it or forgotten about it, I'll post a link in the description. But here I thought I'd do the opposite. Now, I mean, a win is a win, but there's probably ways that you really don't want to have to. I guess. I mean, that's what I feel. I mean, I'm sure other people do feel that way. But for me, there's just three ways that I just don't really like winning. And that is, like, if a tournament game goes to time, if my opponent misplayed, or having them deck out. Now, I have ranted before about how decking someone out is a cheap way of winning, although one thing I will say, which I do appreciate, is that it's like our last desperate attempt to try and win. Like, if there's literally no other way, like, if you've got more cards than the opponent, like, there could be a situation where like, you're kind of out of options and just need to hold on, basically. Like, I don't know, if there's just no way you can get over a certain something. Now, you could argue that that sort of situation doesn't really come up, and it shouldn't come to that, but, you know, anything can happen in a duel, and, you know, that's what it comes down to. I just prefer not to win that way. I mean, I usually prefer to wipe out my opponent's life points if I can, or if I'm using Exodia or Destiny board, just win with them, but that's another story. But yeah, resorting to decking out, like, it's something I hardly ever do. I never want to resort to it. But, you know, situations have happened where it sort of gets to that stalemate, and then gets to a point where the opponent runs out of cards. So, you know, I'm not doing it on purpose. You know, sometimes these things happen, and I do feel bad if I win that way. Of course, that being said, I also feel bad if I win on end of match procedure, or if my opponent misplayed. The misplaying is something I brought up before. I mean, I absolutely hate it if I lose games because I made a mistake that ended up costing me the game, and I can't help but get annoyed and upset over it. And it does make me feel bad if my opponent misplayed and that cost them the game. I never want to win that way. Yeah, I like to try and beat my opponents when they're playing at their best, or just playing things out with no mistakes. And but then it gets to a point where they messed up, and it's like, oh dear. And yeah, it's just unfortunate. I mean, it does suck for them, and well, again, I'll take the win, but it's like, well, that's not how I wanted it to go down. I mean, but it's not something I'm mad about or ranting about. I'm not going to be like, why did you have to misplay? You shouldn't misplay, rah rah rah. I'm not going to be like that. I mean, that's just dickish. Yeah, I'm just simply saying that I feel bad if my opponent misplayed, and it's the only reason I win. Yeah, I hope you know what I mean. I mean, because I really don't want people taking things I say completely the wrong way. I mean, that's happened too much recently. And then there's end of match procedure in tournaments. And like I've said many times before, I absolutely hate losing to end of match procedure. It happens almost every time my games go to time. Although there have been occasions where I've either won or ended in a draw, and like I said, I usually prefer to see matches through to the end, and if I do win a game, I'd rather it was through dropping my opponent's life points to 0. Although, if they surrender, then that's a different story, and a fair enough different story. But, yeah, if games go to time, then it ends up forcing both players to play differently and do something to try and get their life points higher than the opponent. And then they try and get crafty or cheeky and what have you. I mean, not that I try to get cheeky, at least I'm pretty sure I don't, but yeah, I guess it just comes down to luck more than anything else, really. I mean, if I do take a win on time, I mean, I will take it, but again, it's like, that's not how I wanted it to go down. I mean, and again, I wanted to see it through to the end. Yeah, I just can't help but feel bad about losing to winning through end of match procedure. But yeah, what can I say? These things happen. I guess that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, really. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, do you think the same way, or are there any ways you've won but didn't really want to win, in a way? Let me know in the comments down below, and yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later.